First round of Open Cup 2026 is just about concluded, and there has been more than enough entertainment and some wild notes to get through. I was on scene for the Flint City Bucks to take on USL League One side Forward Madison last night, and that was one of 6 amateur wins over professional sides at various different leagues and levels. Amongst the notes of this, you got one postponement in Pittsburgh where they had 2 indoor games, a 14-year-old goal scorer in Chattanooga, and there was a malice in the palace style situation out in California with Faralito. We saw maple syrups being shot in Vermont. All sorts of madness, all sorts of entertainment. Couldn't imagine why some leagues don't want to participate in this full-heartedly, but it's been quite an exciting round 1 here in the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, I don't have Tuesday's results because we talked about those on Wednesday. You mentioned the postponement there in Pittsburgh and some of those others, but these are Wednesdays and Thursdays results that I have on screen just so we can pick at it a little bit. Obviously, the thing that we talk about every single time this tournament comes around is, will there be surprises, cup sets? Will amateur teams in particular knock off pro teams? And Rob, I see some cases where that definitely didn't happen. Shout out to Lexington, who scored 9 against Flower City Union. But there are some upsets here. Virginia Dream, which I believe is based in Annandale, Virginia, which I swear is 5 minutes from my house, 10 minutes, maybe 12.
Your very own.
I guess I don't claim them because I've never really been involved, but maybe I need to jump on the bandwagon of Virginia Dreams dropping Carolina Core in the U.S. Open Cup in Carolina, obviously. Looking down the screen here, you've got, Tennessee Tempo, which I believe has been in UPSL, probably plays in other leagues as well. They knock off Chattanooga Red Wolves, so we won't get a Chattanooga Derby this year. That's not going to happen in the U.S. Open Cup, which is sad. Chattanooga FC beat Kalonji Pro-Profile to do their bit. So that's a pro team handling an amateur team.
But the Pro-Profile, that was the 14-year-old. And it was a goal. I've never seen a one-time finish from outside the box off of a penalty kick save. I've seen a million soccer games in my life, never seen a finish like that.
Yeah, it was really just kind of a hit and hope. He wasn't going for it.
It happened. It happened.
No, it still counts. It still counts. By the way, I believe that kid's name is Braden Kalonji. I believe he is the son of the founder of that club, hence the Kalonji Pro-Profile. People really like the name Kalonji. That was kind of just getting set.
That was their first ever Open Cup game too.
Also a club that I know a little bit from doing some stuff with UPSL. So that's a team that has competed in the UPSL playoffs, like their national championship, Kalonji Pro-Profile. Union Omaha handles BOHFS St. Louis. Now, I know our friend Soccer Zombie, Tom, maybe someone was talking about this. I saw the protagonist did a profile on this club a while back because I found that on the interwebs. Shout out to our guys at the protagonist. I don't know what BOHFS stands for. I couldn't figure it. It wasn't in any of these profiles or information. I know that club has like an Ajax style badge with the cap on it because of the Bosnian connections in the community there. It may be that the B stands for Bosnia or something. I don't know. That's what I wanted to learn. Anyway, let's see what else we got. FC Tulsa wins, San Antonio wins, New Mexico wins, Sacramento Republic beat El Faralito, and there was a story there because there was a little bit of some fisticuffs, some fracas. There was a roustabout. There was
almost you could call it a Donnybrook.
Maybe you could call it a Donnybrook. There's an amateur team beating a pro team. Valley 559 beating AV Alta.
You know who scored that goal?
Quincey Amerikwa scored that goal.
38-year-old Quincey Amerikwa, the guy who pops up at all the places, continues to do so. American soccer heritage, I'd say.
Okay, thank you guys. Now, look, it was capitalized. This is American Groundhopper, and our guy, Soccer Zombie, is also helping out here. Okay, so a both is a good friend in Bosnian. Oh. So both's St. Louis is literally a Bosnian word for good friend, St. Louis. I was sitting here thinking, oh, it's all caps. It must stand for something. It must be I don't know. No, not at
Boston
all.
only Hall of Famers.
Sure, something like that. What else do we got notable on the board? Anything else? Orange County wins. Spokane Velocity wins. I think that's it. I think that's it for the Open Cup.
So I also wanted to note that Asheville, amongst the 6 amateur teams that got a dub, pulled off one of the funniest goals at the death. A player for Asheville feigning injury in the box. Their opponent plays it short. Guy pops up, steals the ball, and scores. Mike Watts literally goes, "Whoop!" when he stood up and got the ball. That's an all-timer. I'll never forget that goal. That's another thing I've never seen before. And
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say a little bit of review of my experience last night. Went up to Grand Blanc, which was not the normal venue for the Flint City Bucks. We hyped that up on Wednesday's show. But I got to say, if you traveled 3 states away as a supporter, would you be trying to put your very all in to have your voice heard, be vocalized, and support the team? I mean, that's like probably a 10-hour trip to do that. Yeah. There was probably a dozen or so of the flock from Forward Madison, not a single chant, not a single anything. The only thing they did was complain to the referee a couple of times. And that was justified because, get this, Jason, amongst the things I don't think I've seen, at least not more than a couple times, but Forward Madison got whistled offside for a Flint City Bucks back pass. A Forward Madison forward intercepted a back pass, and they flagged him for offsides. And
that's insane. Okay.
I don't want to degrade. I mean, like, kudos to the Forward Madison fans for making that trip, but I mean, I want to make it worth my while. I want to scream my lungs out, not have a voice the next day. If I'm going to go states away to support the team, they did not make much of a voice.
I want to be clear. Rob Kerr is calling out the Forward Madison faithful for not doing what fans are supposed to do, supporters are supposed to do.
There wasn't even a go. There wasn't even a go Madison.
You're also denigrating the level of officiating at the U.S. Open Cup first round level, which, man, obviously you take the good and the bad with these games. I was actually thinking, like, we probably should have brought up some images of the venues where some of these games were taking place, just because, while it's making fun of it a little bit, on some level, it's also like, look at all the places we play soccer, and we were forced to play soccer in this country.
It adds to all the quirks of it. Denigrating is a very harsh word. I would just say I expected more, at least from the fans, like, to make it worth your while. We're like, wouldn't you want to do your utmost if you're going to, we were saying, we actually did a counter chant. You spent $4 a gallon for this. I would do more if I was going to spend all the time. You got to take at least 1 or 2 days off of work. You're traveling all that way, and you didn't even have one coordinated go team or anything, not a single thing. And then there was also another goal taken away from Forward Madison for reasons. The referee said it hit the field goal post above the goal, which is classic Open Cup as well, that there was a American football field goal post above the goal. But yeah, the goalie made a save, tapped it in, should have been the equalizer. Referee whistled it, no goal. But then Forward Madison did not show anything. We expected the professionalism and the fitness and the weeks of preseason and all that to, as the game went on, the professional team would win out. They did not. They did not. And you're talking about venues. Grand Blanc, impressive. Never been there before. That high school stadium, absolutely massive. It was like something that you'd see in like Texas or something. A huge facility, impressive place there. But a fun night out of Open Cup soccer. The second round is to be played the last weekend of, or the last few days of March, the 31st through April 1st. So excitedly waiting to see when that. I think the second round draw is to come from USSF in the day today here on Friday. We'll be excited to see that. And if there's half as many notables in the second round as there was in the first, we're in for some excitement. But let's move on. We're going to talk about MLS sprint season here. Stick with us here on Morning Kick Around.